Welcome, Stats Geniuses, to question number 20. And this one is going to test your knowledge of division. So, Adam is making some booklets. Each booklet's got to have 34 sheets of paper. He's got 2 packets of paper, and there are 500 sheets in each packet. Now, we've got to figure out how many complete booklets can he make from these 2 packets of paper. Well, if 1 packet of paper is 500, 2 packets must be 2 lots of 500, which is 1,000. So he has basically got 1,000 sheets of paper, and we need to figure out how many 34s go into that 1,000. So we are effectively doing 1,000 divided by 34. Now, there are various ways you can do this. You could attempt to do it with a short bush shelter, or you could do a chunking method. I'm going to do a little chunking method. So, to do a chunking method, I need to write out some obvious chunks. So, 1 lot of 34 would be 34. 10 34s would be 340. 2 34s would be 68. 20 34s would be 680, and a useful one to have is 5 34s. Well, 5 34s is half of whatever 10 34s is. Well, if 10 34s is 340, 5 34s is half of 340. Half of 40 is 20, half of 300 is 150, so 150 plus your 20 would be 170. Now I'm going to use these chunks. I'm going to subtract these chunks from my 1,000 sheets of paper and see what it is that I'm actually subtracting. So, if I start by doing 1,000 divided by 34, well, you always subtract the biggest chunk that you can. Well, the biggest number I can take off of 1,000 that's in this list is 680. So I'm going to take off 680, but I'm going to make a note at the side of what chunk of 34s that is. That 680 is a chunk of 20 34s. So we're going to put a little times 20 at the side, and I'm going to work out what that is now. So 0 take 0 is 0. 0 take away 8 we can't do, so we borrow, but we can't borrow from that 0 because there's nothing there to borrow from, so we borrow from the 1. The 1 becomes 0, and the next 0 becomes 10. But that's no use because we still can't do 0 take away 8. Borrow from the 10, that becomes 9, and then 1 we borrowed makes the next 0 into 10. 10 take away 8 is 2, 9 take away 6 is 3, so we're down to 320. Now, we can't take away 340 because that's bigger than 320, but what we can do is take away 170. So we're going to take away 170, and that's a chunk of 5. Okay, so let's put a little times 5 at the side, and let's continue. 0 takes 0 is 0, 2 takes 7 we can't do, so borrow, 3 becomes a 2, and the 2 turns into 12 with the 1 we've borrowed. 12 take away 7 is 5, 2 take away 1 is 1, so we're down to 150. Now at this point we're going to keep going, but we might be smart here and we might say, well, hang on, if 2 34s is 68, you could double the 2 34s and double the 68. So double 2 34s would be 4 34s, and double 68, well, double 8 is 16, and double 60 is 120. So 120 plus 16 is 136. So 4 34s is going to be 136. Now I could use that and subtract that from my 150. So you take away 136. We're doing this just to save a little bit of time. So and that's a chunk of 4 34s. So 0 take 6 we can't do, so borrow. 10 take away 6 is 4. 4 take away 3 is 1. And 1 take away 1 is nothing. Now we're down to 14 sheets of paper. So this is basically the remainder. You remember he needs 34 sheets of paper and he's only got 14 left. So what we've got to do now is count up all the chunks that we've subtracted off. So we've had a chunk of 20. This was 20 booklets that he could make, plus another 5. So 20 plus 5 is 25, and 25 plus another 4 booklets down here is 29. So we can basically make 29 booklets. And this 14 here is 14 left over. You'd have 14 spare sheets of paper left over, but that's not enough to make a whole booklet because he would need 34.